Hi, I'm Marci Kobayashi, and I'm back again with another excerpt from my book, Finding Yoyu. If you've been following along, then you know that in the last excerpt, I was sharing about the weeks after my husband got out of the hospital and how he got motivated to get back to work, and how my father-in-law discovered day service, and how I needed to find a new way of being in my business. Well, we're now going into the next section, and it's November of 2015. And in this one, I want to share with you two emails that I wrote. And this one's a little bit long and a little tedious, but bear with me. It's a pivotal point for me. Well, I won't say anything more. I'll just jump right in. Here we go. Everything was going so well. Akira was back to work, and Oto-san was enjoying day service. Even Oka-san was doing well. I wasn't. I sort of knew it, too. I was struggling to figure out what I should be doing, struggling to make my business profitable, and struggling to maintain my happy-go-lucky disposition. I was a happy person out of habit, but inside I was withering away. Akira was in no position to support me, and I was reaching my limit on being able to support him. Everything looked great on the outside. Inside, I was wilting. I was giving and giving and giving, and then one morning, we had a fight. We both flung words at each other that we didn't really mean, and yet couldn't stop ourselves from saying. I had the wherewithal to know that eventually things would be okay, that we would get over the argument, but after Akira left for work, the argument still felt unsurmountable to me. Eventually, Akira and I would need to talk, but talking wasn't something Akira could do, at least not right away. Maybe in a week or two. I thought about calling Mom, but she had experienced firsthand the way Akira shut down when he was upset. I couldn't guarantee that she'd be able to keep her own feelings out of it, and then, even though I was angry with him, I'd no doubt end up defending him to her. As much as Akira infuriated me, I sort of understood and appreciated his way of cutting off communication until he had calmed down after an argument. I didn't want to admit it, but I could see that initially his way worked better. After we both calmed down, though, I would still need to talk. Unfortunately, I knew a conversation about what had been truly bothering us both wouldn't happen unless I initiated it. Anger flashed through me again, and I decided not to call anyone. I needed to calm down and get grounded. I tried to meditate, and even tried to connect with my spirit guides to channel a message. I felt heavy. Instead of the light, breezy way words usually flowed through my fingers onto the keyboard, I felt like my head and hands were covered in mud. Then, in the weird way that family always knew when something was wrong, my sister Michelle called. I was so relieved when the phone rang and I saw that it was her. I was grateful that I didn't have to keep trying to channel. I didn't want to dump on her about the argument, but I must have told her enough because she gave me homework. 1. Don't think about cooking for others. Keep making food because you need to eat. You can share with the other two if necessary. 2. Simply don't talk to Akira for a while. Instead, write to Akira how you are feeling, since talking doesn't seem to be an option. Michelle booted me off the phone within minutes. She said the homework was enough and that I needed to write out my feelings more than I needed to talk. After we hung up, I grabbed my laptop and headed for a coffee shop. And here's the first email. It's from Marci Kobayashi to Akira Kobayashi, Monday, November 23rd, 2015. Subject, conversation. Akira, I don't know how to deal with this friction between us. I don't think you see me anymore. I don't think you care. Or possibly you just simply don't have the Yoyu. Since talking seems to be so difficult for you, I will start the conversation through email. The other day you asked me why we need to talk things over. You wondered if anything could really be solved. Here are 3 reasons I think talking is necessary. 1. Talking is something important and highly valued in my culture. Verbalizing things is something I do in my family culture. I know you do not do this in your family culture, and it's not highly valued. We have to compromise, right? If I insist on talking, then I am denying your culture. If you refuse to talk, then you are denying my culture. You made it very clear that you cannot talk when you are angry or upset, and you don't want to talk when I am angry or upset. I accept this as a compromise, but I need you to compromise too. Please make time to talk when we are both calm. I have been asking for this for years. I have made a big effort to be quiet, leave you alone, or even remove myself when we are angry. Over the years, I've been getting better and better about not insisting that we talk. I don't think you have been making the same kind of effort for me. Should I be the one to compromise and then beg to talk? I'm sick of being the one to always request it. Again and again, I have asked you to please make time or tell me when you are ready. Will you never be ready? Will you never be willing? I can't understand why you teach your students about DIE, but you are unwilling to D, describe, I, interpret, and E, evaluate at home with me. Please respect my culture and make an effort to talk with me even if we have to use the DIE method to do it. Number 2, time cannot heal misunderstandings. You asked the other day how anything could be solved or get better by talking. I get your point because for some situations, time can heal our irritation. As the irritation clears, the uncomfortable situation dissolves. Yes, for some situations, time is best. However, time cannot heal misunderstandings. I think we must share our views so we can understand each other. That's why DIE works, right? Even if we cannot fully accept the other person, we can at least recognize why they are feeling, thinking, reacting a certain way, right? It's one step towards greater understanding and acceptance. Number 3, the other day you also asked why we need to keep revisiting old topics. The reason why talking about past events can help is that over time our understanding of a past event changes as we grow and mature. I'm not suggesting that we blame each other over and over again and demand an apology over and over again. Instead, I'm suggesting it's like peeling back layers of an onion. For example, my understanding of my parents and their divorce has changed considerably over the years as I have grown up and gotten married. I have gained new perspective, so I can see their situation differently now. So yes, I do think we need to talk. Given the opportunity to talk with you, what would I like to discuss? There are 2 things, your father and us. As for your father, I cannot understand why you can only see your father in a negative way. Are you judging him based on who he was and what he did years ago? What did he do to you? What was so terrible? Did he beat you? Or maybe there was verbal abuse? I can't figure it out. No matter what it was, I hope you can find room in your heart to understand why he did what he did and why he is who he is. And ultimately, I hope you can have space in your heart to forgive him. Maybe he hasn't changed. Maybe he is still exactly the same. I doubt it though, because people change, people grow. Do you want your children to judge you only for your actions when they were children? Haven't you changed? Aren't you a different person than you were 10, 20, 30 years ago? Here's the deal. I believe that if we don't face these feelings, find some resolution, some peace and forgiveness now, then we will be facing this same lesson again and again. These lessons keep coming, and if we do not learn from them in this lifetime, we will keep facing it in the next life. We can keep coming back to these lessons, or we can start facing them now and move beyond them. Please take the time to understand your relationship with your father. If not, this anger, frustration, and resentment will make you crazy. Maybe you could make a date with Shige, or if you need to see a counselor, then go for it. Get some help. I'm very worried about you. Please don't misunderstand. I don't think you must feel warm, loving feelings for your father, and I don't mean that we should never be frustrated or irritated by him. I just hope you can see him someday as another human being. And is it fair for us to judge your father at all right now? If you have Alzheimer's someday, do you want me and your children to judge you if you say strange things, become selfish, and cannot think of anyone else? I think it's very important that we make it a priority to learn about dementia, especially Alzheimer's. The second thing I want to talk about is us. I know you don't have any Yoyu right now. I imagine you feel burdened by your recovery from cancer and burdened by living with your father and being responsible for your mother. I guess you also feel burdened to make money and provide for all of us. Of course, I am not you, so I cannot understand your feeling 100%, but I can imagine that you feel burdened by these things. I know you don't have any Yoyu. I know. I can see it clearly. But did you know that I don't have Yoyu either? I need you as much as you need me. But I feel like you are so focused on yourself, like you are stuck in a hole and can't see out. Did you ever think about how I am feeling? I know this last year was tough for you. It was tough for me too. This time last year, a year ago, I was in the US signing contracts with universities. Since then, so many exciting things have happened and so many really difficult things have happened too. Do you have any idea? In all the ups and downs, I have tried to keep a positive atmosphere at home. I feel like I am all alone trying to make this work. I'm so tired of doing this by myself. We are a couple, but all you seem to need is the TV, a shower, a toilet, a bed, and someone to cook, clean, and take care of your father. You don't need Marci. Hello, I am here, and I am human too. I'm sick of trying to make this good for you, or good for Oto-san. I'm so tired of trying to hold the space and keep the peace. I'm so sick of the negativity, the demons that come out of your mouth. I'm so sick of the complaints about your father, about this government and that government and politicians too. You rarely have anything positive to say. The negative comments feel like acid. I'm so sick of trying to redirect them and to protect myself. You are so focused on yourself, your work, and your recovery. You never think to ask, how are you, Marci? How was your day? What did you do today? You rarely look at me. A few years ago, I lost my business partner. This year, I feel like I lost my husband and best friend, and instead, 2 strangers are living with me. I'm so weary from living with an 86-year-old man who has a dis-ease in his mind and a 62-year-old man who has a dis-ease in his heart. Oto-san can't help himself, but you can. Please get some help. Please find the happy Akira and bring him home. Maybe I'm the one who needs help. I don't know anymore. I don't think I can do this anymore. I have reached my limit. And the second email. The same day, Monday, November 23rd, 2015, from Marci to my sister Michelle. Hey Michelle, I went out to a coffee shop to write just like you suggested. I put everything in an email and sent it to Akira. Then, walking home, I stopped and pulled an angel card. Energy work. As I was walking and mulling, I got a flash of insight that the email might be too much for Akira right now. It might blow a circuit. As soon as I got home, I started Akira's desktop up and deleted the email from his account before he could read it. I still want to share parts of it with him, but it can wait. Love you, Marci. Okay, that's all I have for today. That was my state of mind back then in November 2015, and I never did, of course, send the email to Akira after I sent it and then deleted it. A few months ago, I read it to him, and he happily agreed to let me use it here in the book, though we may shorten parts of it later. And of course, as we go on in the story, you learn that though I felt like I had no Yoyu in my marriage and had frustration between my husband and myself, it was actually more about, I'm coming up on discovering that was more about how to find Yoyu for myself. So we're getting there. And part of that, finding Yoyu, I learned now years ago that sometimes it means I have to take a break, and I'm actually going to be taking a break from the videos for a little while. I'm going away for a week or two, and I'm going to finish writing the rest of the draft, and then I'll be back to share the videos. So if we're lucky, you may see another video from me in the next couple of weeks, but it may not be. So I'm going to end right here on number 40, and I will be back later with the last 10 videos, probably sometime in the middle of September. So thank you so much for joining me this far on the journey. I can't wait to show you, to tell you about how I eventually do find Yoyu and find my happy place again, and I'm able to be here like I am today in a good space. So thank you so much, and I'll be back again next time. Bye for now.